Hello everyone, my name is drgdsharma and you are watching English, and in this video we are going to enlist all the works of John Galsworthy. We have categorized the works on the basis of their being novels and dramas and short stories and poems and other miscellaneous works. The categorization will help you understand which work is in which collection. And in this way, you can have an easy understanding of the works of John Galsworthy. First, let us start with his novels. So, we have made a chronological list of all the novels and dramas and other short stories and other works, miscellaneous works. So, as far as novels are concerned, Jocelyn was his first full-length novel, and that was published under his pseudonym John St. John. Then comes the novel Villa Rubin and Other Stories. This was published as a collection. और इस collection में क्या था? Villa Rubin was a novel that was also published under his pseudonym John St. John, and yet another novel, Man of Devon. This was also published under his name John St. John. So these three novels along with his story collection From the Four Winds were published under his pseudonym John St. John. Rest of the entire literary output was published under his own name. So इस collection में Villa Rubin थी, A Man of Devon, A Night, Salvation of a Foresight. Salvation of a Foresight was special because for the very first time Galsworthy made the mention of Foresight character. First mention of a Foresight character. नाम क्या था उसका? Swithin Foresight, who reappeared in The Man of Property. So अगर कहीं पर भी Foresight family के किसी member का कोई जिक्र था Foresight Saga से पहले, so it was in Salvation of Foresight. और ये story Villa Rubin and Other Stories collection में publish हुई थी. और the last story of this collection was The Silence. Then comes his important novel Island Pharisees. Galsworthy खुद ही इस novel को सबसे important novel मानता है initial stage. So it was published in 1904 and then it was revised in 1908. It was also made into a play, The Pigeon. Then there is Country House 1907. Then Commentary 1908. Fraternity 1908. This was also published in 1908. Then A Motley 1910. Patrician 1911. Dark Flower 1913. Dark Flower was based on his own love affair. So it was to certain extent autobiographical, based on his own affair, love affair. Then there is Freelance. Freelance was written after his mother was no more, after the death of his mother, and the main character, the lady, is modeled on his own mother. And in this way he immortalized his mother. Then there is Beyond, A Saint's Progress 1919. Then Tatterdemalion. Worshipful Society was not something very new. इस collection में actually जो 3 novels है Country House, Fraternity and Patrician, वो एक साथ publish की गई थी. So कुछ नया नहीं था इसमें. These novels had already been published, Country House, Fraternity and Patrician. Now comes his most important novel series, the Foresight Saga. It is also called Roman Flob. Roman Flob is a kind of a river novel or novel cycle. Here each individual novel is complete in itself, however they are connected. The story is somewhat connected, or the characters they reappear in the series, in all the novels of the series. तो इस तरह की saga novels या series novels series having sequels and prequels, तो उसको रोमन फ्लॉप भी कहते हैं. इट इज़ द परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दिस रोमन फ्लॉप. उसमें आपकी क्या है? द फर्स्ट नॉवल, ये फर्स्ट नॉवल है, मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. देन देर इज इंटरल्यूड. सेकेंड इज नॉट अ नॉवल, सेकेंड इज इंटरल्यूड, एंड इट ऑल्सो सर्व्स एज एन एपिलॉग टू द मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. सो अगर क्वेश्चन आता है कि विच स्टोरी इज द एपिलॉग ऑफ मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी, सो इट इज द इंडियन समर ऑफ ए फोरसाइट. ये 5 टेल्स में भी दोबारा से पब्लिश हुई थी स्टोरी. सेकंड नॉवल है इन चांसरी. देयर वाज लॉट ऑफ गैप बिटवीन द पब्लिकेशन ऑफ फर्स्ट नॉवल ऑफ द सीरीज एंड द सेकंड वन. उसके कई सारे रीजन है, बिकॉज इनिशियली ही डिड नॉट इंटेंड टू राइट द सीक्वेंस ऑफ दिस नॉवल. ही हैड ओनली वन थिंग इन हिज माइंड, दैट इज टू कंपोज द मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी only. But the popularity of this novel prompted him to write the sequels as well. And those sequels, they came in this trilogy. It is called trilogy. Trilogy is a series of 3 novels. So here we have 3 novels and 2 interludes. this first interlude, and then this is second interlude, Awakening, and then the last novel of the series is Too Late. The Foresight Saga was immensely popular in his time and even after his death. Even in 1967, BBC television series broadcast this series in 26 episodes, and it was very popular that time. So it renewed the popularity of Galsworthy even more than he had in his lifetime. The popularity or the importance of this series was so much that while he was being awarded the Nobel Prize, the citation of the Nobel Prize had this Foresight Saga at the center. Now this novel does not belong to Foresight Saga. It has come in a chronological order, that's why we have written here. सो बर्निंग स्पेयर एक और नॉवल थी. इनके सब टाइटल्स आपको इंपॉर्टेंटली याद रखने हैं. बीइंग द एक्सपीरियंसेस ऑफ मिस्टर जॉन लेवेंडर इन द टाइम ऑफ वॉर. टाइम ऑफ वॉर, वेयर एवर द टाइम ऑफ वॉर इज कंसर्न, इट इज सिंपली वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट. Then it is the sequel, a modern comedy. Foresight Saga was collectively published in 1922. Modern comedy was not so popular as its predecessor. However, it was a great novel series. It was also a trilogy. It was also modeled in the same sequence. White Monkey first novel, Silent Wing first interlude, Silver Spoon second novel, Passers-by second interlude, and Swan Song third novel. So similar to this Foresight Saga, it was also a trilogy. Then there is the concluding part of this Chronicles, Foresight Chronicles. It was published posthumously. It was published posthumously as a collection. However, individual novels, they were published in his lifetime. So this end of the chapter has 3 novels. It is also a trilogy. Made in Waiting, Flowering Wilderness, and Over the River. Over the River was originally published as One More River. So this was the last novel of this Foresight Saga, Foresight Chronicles, and end of the chapter was the concluding part of this Foresight Chronicles. In between we have a short story collection having the lives and times of Foresights on Foresight Change. उसको अभी हम शॉर्ट स्टोरी वाले सेक्शन में एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. सो फोरसाइट सागा, मॉडर्न कॉमेडी, एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर एंड ऑन फोरसाइट चेंज, ये सब फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल्स में आते हैं. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट हिज प्लेस, ड्रामाज. द वेरी फर्स्ट ड्रामा वाज पब्लिश्ड in 1906, Silver Box, a comedy in 3 acts. Subtitles are very important, or particularly the different subtitles are more important than the ones that tell a comedy in 3 acts or a drama in 4 acts. Like The Joy, a play on the letter I. This subtitle is important. They were written in quick succession. Year after year he kept on writing the dramas. Strife, a drama in 3 acts. Justice, a tragedy in 4 acts. So the subtitle suggests that it is a tragedy. The Little Dream, it is an allegory. So it is also important, allegory in 6 scenes. It is not in acts. It is simply in scenes. That is to say, it is shorter play. The division is not in acts, merely it is in scenes. Pigeon, a fantasy in 3 acts. Pigeon that was converted by the island Pharisees. The Eldest Son, a domestic drama in 3 acts. So it is also important. Fugitive, a play in 4 acts. Mob, a play in 4 acts. So 4 acts वाले आपको अलग कर लो, easy रहेगा. ये 4 acts वाला है, ये 4 acts वाला है, and then Justice is 4 acts, and these, only these. One more there, we'll talk later on. Rest of the dramas, they are in 3 acts, or otherwise they are in scenes. He did not write any 1 act play. कोई भी 1 act play नाम का कोई भी play इसने नहीं लिखा. So don't get confused about his writing 1 act play. All he wrote, so 3 acts plays, 4 acts plays, or simply scenes. We have the play of 6 scenes, we have a play of 7 scenes, we have a play of single scene. अभी आगे आ जाएंगे. द फुल मून, अ प्ले इन 3 acts. अ बिट ऑफ लव, अ प्ले इन 3 acts. फाउंडेशंस, एन एक्स्ट्रावेगेंट प्ले. जिनका सबटाइटल अजीब सा है और डिफरेंट सा है, उनको आपको इम्पॉर्टेंटली याद रखना है. स्किन गेम, अ ट्रेजिक कॉमेडी जस्ट लाइक दिस वन. अ फैमिली मैन इन 3 acts. सो अ प्ले इन 3 acts, ड्रामा इन 3 acts, दिस इज कॉमन थिंग. जिनके सबटाइटल डिफरेंट से हैं उनको ज़रूर याद रखना है. आगे कंटिन्यू होता है ये. नाउ प्लेज का कलेक्शन, ये कलेक्शन दो तरीके से है, 6 शॉर्ट प्लेज और 4 शॉर्ट प्लेज। 4 शॉर्ट प्लेज आर नॉट डिफरेंट, एक्चुअली दे आर आउट ऑफ दिस 6 शॉर्ट प्लेज। जो इनिशियल 4 हैं, दीज आर सेपरेटली पब्लिश्ड एज 4 शॉर्ट प्लेज, और सारों की बात अगर करते हैं तो दे पब्लिश्ड इन 6 शॉर्ट प्लेज। स्टार्टिंग के जो 4 हैं वो 4 शॉर्ट प्लेज करके भी पब्लिश हुए थे। तो एक कलेक्शन ये है, एक कलेक्शन ये है, और इनफैक्ट ओरिजिनली दे आर ओनली 1 कलेक्शन, दे वर पब्लिश्ड इन ओनली 1 कलेक्शन। स्टार्टिंग के 4 जो हैं ये सिंगल सीन प्लेज, कोई सीन का डिवीजन कुछ नहीं, दे हैड ओनली 1 सीन एंड एज सच दे आर शॉर्टर वंस, even the shortest one. These 4 are the shortest plays, single scene play. They are not one act plays, they are single scene plays. तो कहीं पर अगर लिखा हुआ इनमें से कोई सा भी प्ले वन एक्ट प्ले, सो दैट इज रॉन्ग। इनके सब टाइटल भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, हॉलमार्क्ड, अ सटायरिकल ट्राइफल, डिफीट, अ टाइनी ड्रामा, द सन, अ सीन। इसमें सिर्फ मेंशन किया हुआ है दैट इट इज अ सीन, सो इट इज ऑल्सो सिंगल सीन प्ले। एंड पंच एंड गो, पंच एंड गो कई बार कुछ बुक्स में 1 एक्ट कॉमेडी या 1 एक्ट प्ले करके लिखा हुआ है, दैट इज रॉन्ग, इट इज अ सिंगल सीन प्ले। इवन आप जब टेक्स्ट पढ़ोगे इसका तो देर इज नो मेंशन ऑफ द सीन्स इवन, लेट अलोन एक्ट्स। फिर लास्ट के जो 2 हैं शॉर्ट 6 शॉर्ट प्लेज में, द फर्स्ट एंड द लास्ट, ये ड्रामा भी है, फर्स्ट एंड द लास्ट नाम का एक ड्रामा भी है, so it is also a drama. Galsworthy की खुद की हैबिट थी ये, that he converted some of his novels or short stories into dramas, plays. उसमें क्या करता था, he converted, he changed the names, sometimes characters और the storyline, plot में changes कर दिए, characters में changes कर दिए, title में change कर दिया, जैसे फेरेसीज, आइलैंड फेरेसीज को द पिजन किया था, और डायलॉग्स को नरेटिव से कन्वर्ट कर दिया। नॉवल या शॉर्ट स्टोरी में नरेटिव, ड्रामा में डायलॉग्स, सो नरेटिव से डायलॉग्स में। दिस इज हाउ ही कन्वर्टेड सम ऑफ हिज स्टोरीज और नॉवेल्स इनटू प्लेस। सो फर्स्ट एंड द लास्ट इज ऑल्सो द सेम रिजल्ट। देन देर इज अ लिटिल मैन। लिटिल मैन कई बार एक 1 एक्ट प्ले करके पब्लिश मतलब बताया जाता है। सो इट इज़ नॉट 1 एक्ट प्ले, इट इज़ अ फार्सिकल morality in 3 scenes. It is in 3 scenes, it is in 3 scenes. These are in 3 scenes, 3 scene play. These 4 are single scene play, 1 scene play. The collection is 6 short plays. Then the remaining dramas, there is Loyalties in 3 acts, Windows, a comedy in 3 acts for idealists and others. Then Forest, the 4th one, the 4th drama that was in 4 acts. शुरू के 3 और थे, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 dramas plus the last one, this, they are in 4 acts. Rest of them are of 3 acts if they are longer plays. And if they are a shorter plays, तो उसमें या तो single scene, 1 scene plays, 3 scene plays, 6 scene plays and 7 scene. 1 scene play they are 4 dramas. 3 scene plays they are 2 dramas. 6 scene play is 1. 7 scene play is 1. Like 6 scene वाला भी देख लिया हमने, 7 scene वाला The Roof. The Roof is in a play in 7 scenes. और and 6 short plays आपने भी देख लिए, 2 3 scene plays थे और 4 1 scene play. Old English, a play in 3 acts. The Show, drama in 3 acts. Escape, episodic play in a prologue and 2 parts. Since it was episodic, so इसका एक remaining part पोस्ट्यूमसली भी पब्लिश हुआ था। ये विंटर गार्डन में, विंटर गार्डन ये भी पोस्ट्यूमसली पब्लिश हुआ था, आफ्टर हिज डेथ पोस्ट्यूमसली पब्लिश्ड। एंड आउट ऑफ देम 2 आर इनकम्प्लीट, जस्ट लाइक दिस इज इनकम्प्लीट और परहैप्स दिस सिमलीज इज इनकम्प्लीट। देयर इज नो मेंशन विच वन ऑफ इनकम्प्लीट, बट दिस सजेस्ट दैट दिस इज इनकम्प्लीट। विंटर गार्डन इज द टाइटल ड्रामा. So these 4 dramatic pieces, Winter Garden, the 4 dramatic pieces, they were published in 1935 after the death of Galsworthy. And then they had a preface or a forward type by his wife, Mrs. Galsworthy. 4 short dramatic pieces, 2 complete, 2 incomplete, all hitherto unpublished. So during his lifetime, all these 4 plays remained unpublished. After he was no more, so his wife perhaps got them published. 2 of them they are complete, 2 of them they are incomplete. So Escape इसी के पार्ट है, ये सारे इसके प्लेस थे. नेक्स्ट शॉर्ट स्टोरीज. शॉर्ट स्टोरीज की अगर बात करते हैं तो कुछ शॉर्ट स्टोरीज कलेक्शन ही मेन है. फर्स्ट कलेक्शन जो इसका सबसे पहला कलेक्शन ही है, द वेरी फर्स्ट राइट अप बिफोर द नॉवेल्स इवन. इट वॉज पब्लिश्ड इन 1897 and it was also published under his pseudonym John St. John. It is a collection of 10 tales, 10 stories, like The Running Amok of Sinj Sahib, Dick Denver's Idea, Ashes, Tally Ho, Doldrums, The Capitulation of Jean Jacques, The Spirit of Carew, The Praise Oyster, According to His Lights, and Demigods. So these 10 stories were there in this collection from the four winds. This is the very first collection or the first ever write-up of Galsworthy. Then these stories, Black Godmother, it was published in the Inn of Tranquility as well, The Simple Tale. तो जो individually publish हुई हैं तो आप समझ लीजिए कि they were published in some or other magazine, some or other journal or some periodicals. इधर उधर किसी ना किसी पब्लिकेशन में वो सेपरेटली पब्लिश हुई, दैट्स व्हाई दे आर separate. Otherwise most of the stories they were published in collections, some or other collection, just like 10 stories in this collection. Then there are 5 tales, 5 important tales. ये important भी है. The first tale is the first and the last. जो भी एक ड्रामा था, अभी एक ये short story. The Stoic Apple Tree. Critics regard this short story to be the most important or best short story of Galsworthy. And here there is a repetition. Indian Summer of Foresight is an interlude that was in Foresight Saga, and here it is published as a short story in this collection, the 5 tales. So these were 5 tales. Now the next collection is Captures, that was published in 1923. इसमें भी कई सारी tales हैं, कई सारी stories हैं, just like A Feud, A Man Who Kept His Form, The Hedonist, Timbers, Santa Lucia, Blackmail, The Broken Boot, Stroke of Lighting, Virtue, Conscience, Salta Pro Nobis, Philanthropy, A Long Ago Affair, Acme, Late 299, and Had a Horse. So these stories were published in this collection, Captures. हालांकि अभी तक जितनी भी स्टोरीज बताई हैं उनमें से बहुत सारी स्टोरीज दोबारा से एक और कलेक्शन में इसमें कारवन द Assembled Tales of Galsworthy. This is a collection of 56 stories. और 56 कोई नई stories नहीं थी, they were the repeated stories, like these stories, the stories of 5 tales, the stories of From the Four Winds, or other stories, Abracadabra and other satires. इसमें भी कई सारी collections आ जाते हैं. Some stories from other collection अभी बताते हैं. So this collection Karma, it did not have some new stories, rather it was the collection of previously published stories. It was of 56 stories. दूसरा collection, this Abracadabra and other satires, it is also a collection of stories. So these stories and other stories from other collections, they were 56 of these stories they were published in Karwan. So the title story, Abracadabra, the voice of something, someone, the Simple Tale, Ultimate Tale, Studies of Extravagance, For Love of Beast, Reveries of Sportsmen, Grotesque. Some of them may be non-fiction, but they were collection in this Abracadabra. Now the most important collection is on Foresight Change. That is a part of Foresight Chronicles. These were published as uncollected Foresight in 1986 as well. Why uncollected? Because they were previously published in some or other publications. So when it was finally compiled, they were published as on Foresight Change. They were dedicated to H. Vincent Marrett. The stories like The Buckles of Superior Dorset. This is not publication date, that is the duration shown in the stories, and this is a time setting. The story deals with the time between 1821 and 1863. So all these are the part of title, not the separate date in which they were published. Sands of Time, this is important. Hester's Little Tour, Timothy's Narrow Squeak, Aunt Julie's Courtship, Nicholas Rex, A Sad Affair, Revolt at Rogers, June's First Lame Duck, Dog at Timothy, this is also important. Midsummer Madness, this is also important. The Hondecotter, Cry of Peacock, Francis Fourpenny Foreigner, Four in Hand, Foresight, The Sorrows of Tweety Man, Dromios, The Foresight Encounters the People, Psalms the Flare. They also show the life and times of the Foresight. Foresight's characters. ये स्टोरीज भी, तो दे आर ऑल्सो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू द फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल. Not indirectly, directly. They all show the stories of the characters of Foresights. Foresights were not ordinary characters. The large part of Galsworthy's literary output was the creation of Foresight. Now, some similar stories. They are not exactly the part of Foresight Chronicles. However, we can find in some stories some touches related to Foresight or Foresight's character. So, this was also a collection that was published posthumously. Dane, The Smile, Black Coat, Mummy, Gibbet, Memorable Moments, Tribute to Conrad. So they are some non-fictions as well. Homage to Anatole France, Preface to Green Mansion, W.H. Hudson. This is S-O-N only. Ignore this. Note on Edward Garnett. Edward Garnett was a critic who was introduced to him by Joseph Conrad. Edward Garnett ने इनिशियल जो इसकी नॉवेल्स थी उनको शेप करने में हेल्प भी की थी, और गॉल्सवर्दी ने भी एडवर्ड गार्नेट की बहुत फाइनेंशियली हेल्प की थी, और एडवर्ड गार्नेट को कुछ नॉवेल्स डेडिकेट भी की हैं. एक इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया था एडवर्ड गार्नेट ने इसके लिए. So he is especially mentioning Edward Garnett, and then he is dedicating some note to this person. He is a critic. Note on Maggie, Albanese and Great Tree. So some of them, they are non-fictional works. However, they were collectively published in this collection. Foresights. So the Foresights means some of the stories, they are also related to the Foresight character. Foresight character के बारे में अगर कुछ आ रहा है तो इस collection से भी कहीं ना कहीं एक दो stories आ जाती हैं. Then there is a poetry collection. The first book of poetry. This was the first book of poetry. Moods, songs and doggerels. Pitiful. This was published separately, and this Bells of Peace, they were also published separately. Separately का मतलब यही है कि they were previously published in some or other anthology, some different anthology, some periodical, some journal, some magazine, and later on they were included in some collection. और हो सकता है ये poems या तो इस वाले में या फिर इस collection में या इस collection में publish हुई हो. इसमें तो खैर क्या होंगी, 1912 में हो चुका है ये, but there is a chance that these poems were published in this verses new and old or 40 poems or the collected poems. Collected poems में भी अगर देखा जाए तो इनमें से बहुत सारी poems repeat हो सकती हैं. These were poetry collections. John Galsworthy was not merely novelist and playwright. He was poet as well. As a poet हम बहुत कम ही जानते हैं उसके बारे में. Nevertheless, it was important. इस तरह के unknown या फिर unfamiliar या फिर less familiar facts questions में आ जाते हैं. As far as essays and non-fiction work is concerned, गॉल्सवर्दी ने बहुत सारा काम किया उसमें. फर्स्ट कलेक्शन है कैंडेलेब्रा, द सिलेक्टेड एसेज एंड एड्रेसेस. ये भी एक कलेक्शन है, इसमें भी आप देखते हो बहुत सारे एसेज मिलेंगे. एड्रेसेज इन अमेरिका, he had given many addresses, many lectures, he had written many letters. So all these letters and addresses, they were prepared into manuscripts and they were published. So ये एसेज हैं, प्योर एसेज. 2 एसेज ऑन कॉनरेड. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट उसमें है ये द इन ऑफ ट्रैंक्विलिटी स्टडीज एंड एसेज. ये कलेक्शन 3 सेक्शंस में है. 3 सेक्शंस. फर्स्ट सेक्शन है सेंसरशिप एंड आर्ट. So it is about censorship, just like Areopagitica by Milton. Vague thoughts on art. So it is a critical piece. You can also say that this is a critical piece regarding the art literature. Then the second section is concerning letters. Here we also have some critical pieces like a novelist's allegory, some platitudes concerning drama. ये बहुत important है. About the play, the form of play, the characters, the plot, the story. इन सब के बारे में some platitudes concerning drama में आपको बहुत सारा मिल जाएगा. और अगर कहीं पूछा जाता है कोई कोटेशन ड्रामा को लेकर के, कैरेक्टर को लेकर के, प्लॉट को लेकर के, so possibly the quotation is from this essay only. Some platitudes concerning drama. Meditations on finality, wanted schooling, reflections on our dislikes of things as they are, or the windle straw. ये concerning letters के individual essays. Next section जो आता है इसका important section है concerning life. Concerning life is in 2 parts. Concerning life part 1, ये सबसे important section है. उसमें important essay है The Inn of Tranquility, Magpie over the Hill, Sheep Shearing, Evolution, Riding in the Mist, The Procession, Christian, Wind in the Rocks, My Distant Relatives, The Black Godmother. The Black Godmother was earlier published separately as well. तो अगर repetition आपको कहीं दिखता है तो there is no surprising a thing because they were previously published in some magazines and periodicals and other journals and later on they were collected and compiled and published in some other collection. So आपको हो सकता है repetition दिख जाए. कारवां वाले में तो आपको बहुत सारे repetition दिखेंगे. Actually वो सारे जितनी भी उसके टाइम तक पब्लिकेशंस थी, पब्लिश्ड स्टोरीज थी, उनका कलेक्शन है वो. कंसर्निंग लाइफ पार्ट 2. इस कंसर्निंग लाइफ वाले सेक्शन में बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट एसेज एंड स्टोरीज पब्लिश की गई. द ग्रैंड जूरी, 2 panels and a frame, Gone Thrashing, That Old Time Place, Romance, 3 Gleams, Memories. Memories was the biography of his spaniel dog. Galsworthy did not have any child, so his wife Ada Pearson was very much fond of this dog, spaniel. And when in 1912 the dog died, she was very grievous, she was very sorry, very sorrowful. So he gave a tribute to that dog. So Memories is the biography of that dog. And actually this is very much loved by the dog lovers. This piece of literature or non-fiction is very much loved by all the dog lovers around the world. Nevertheless, it was written for his wife in order to comfort her, soothe her, console her. And it was a biography of this dog. Dog का नाम क्या था? Chris. Then Felicity. Studies and essays, they are these essays only. Now last में है इसके other miscellaneous and non-fiction work. Non-fiction और miscellaneous के मतलब ही क्या है? यहाँ पे कुछ letters हैं, कुछ lectures हैं, कुछ addresses हैं, कुछ लॉन्ग ट्रीटाइडेज हैं. सो उनको सबको एक अलग से कैटेगराइज करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है क्योंकि इतने इंपॉर्टेंट भी नहीं एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, लेकिन फिर भी कभी आ सकते हैं तो वो मिसलेनियस वाले सेक्शन में हमने डाल दिए हैं. सो फर्स्ट इज ए जस्टिफिकेशन ऑफ सेंसरशिप ऑफ प्लेस. ये इंपॉर्टेंट. हॉर्सेज इन माइंड, ये कुछ राइटअप्स ऐसे थे जो कि वाइल्ड लाइफ के लिए, वाइल्ड एनिमल्स के लिए, हॉर्सेस के लिए, पेट एनिमल्स के लिए, जो सोसाइटी को सेंसिटाइज करने के लिए. दीज पीसेज वर रिटन टू सेंसिटाइज द सोसाइटी फॉर टूवर्ड्स दीज पेट एनिमल्स लाइक हॉर्सेज एंड डॉग्स एंड अदर एनिमल्स इवन. तो बर्ड्स के लिए, हॉर्सेस के लिए, डॉग्स के लिए, मंकीज़ के लिए और बहुत सारे एनिमल्स के लिए भी इन्होंने बहुत कुछ लिखा. इन ऑर्डर टू सेंसिटाइज द सोसाइटी टूवर्ड्स दैट द स्पिरिट ऑफ पनिशमेंट. ये टाइटल्स आपको लग सकते हैं कि नॉवल का टाइटल होगा, ड्रामा का टाइटल होगा, लेकिन दे आर वेरीफाइड थिंग्स. दे आर नॉन फिक्शनल वर्क. फॉर लव ऑफ बीस्ट्स, जंगली जानवर, वाइल्ड लाइफ के लिए. The slaughter of animals for food. He was a vegan type of person, so he did not like that animals should be killed just for food. Some slings and arrows, gentles, lest as rest. Paper on the position of women. So it is a feminist document. Sheaf was in 2 volumes. The Land a Play. It is about the acquisition of lands. International Thought on Expression. It is a lecture. Memorable Days, memoir. Is England Done? So these are all non-fictional work. The last are a talk on playing the game with animals and birds. Just like I told you before that he had written many pieces for animals like animals and birds. Castles in Spain and other creeds. The way to prepare peace. A rambling discourse. Plight of the miners. Literature and life, ये important है. Creation of character in literature, ये भी important है. Author and critic, this is also important. So out of this non-fictional work, some pieces were really important. Letters from John Galsworthy, some letters, they were edited by Edward Garnett, ये तो important भी है. Autobiographical letters of John Galsworthy, Glimpses and Reflection, and last, Letters to Leon Lyon. It was published much later. Now the last thing is a compiled फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल. फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल्स में क्या क्या चीज़ है? तो फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल्स में जैसे पहले बताया था अभी, फोरसाइट सागा सीरीज, वो ट्रायोलॉजी, मॉडर्न कॉमेडी ट्रायोलॉजी एंड दिस लास्ट कंक्लूडिंग ट्रायोलॉजी, ये सब इम्पॉर्टेंटली. एंड देन फोरसाइट चेंज. पर्टिकुलरली दिस फोरसाइट सागा सीरीज, दिस सेकेंड सीक्वल, दिस फर्स्ट सीक्वल, दिस सेकेंड सीक्वल एंड दिस इन बिटवीन शॉर्ट स्टोरी कलेक्शन, ये तो सारी एग्जैक्टली आपके फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल को बनाती हैं. इन सब को कलेक्टिवली क्या कहते हैं? फोरसाइट क्रॉनिकल्स. ये जो स्टोरीज हैं इनमें देयर इज डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली मेंशन ऑफ फोरसाइट, जस्ट लाइक सेल्वेशन ऑफ अ फोरसाइट, जो सबसे पहली बार किसी फोरसाइट कैरेक्टर का कोई मेंशन था तो वो इसी में था, विथिन फोरसाइट. एंड लाइक इन दिस कलेक्शन सम ऑफ द स्टोरीज दे डील विद द लाइव्स एंड टाइम्स ऑफ द फोरसाइट्स. But these stories and these novels and interludes, they are primarily dealing with the lives and times of the Forsytes. You must see that these many pieces of literature were dedicated only to one family, the Forsytes. So these were not ordinary characters. These were very important. ये पेज आपको बहुत हेल्प करेगा डिस्टिंग्विश करने के लिए कौन सी नॉवल, कौन सा इंटरल्यूड किस सेक्शन में था, किस ट्रायलॉजी में था. ये तीनों की तीनों क्या हैं, ट्रायलॉजीज. इनमें 4 इंटरल्यूड्स हैं एंड 3 नॉवेल्स हैं. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट फोरसाइट सागा ही है. सो दैट इज ऑल फॉर नाउ. होपफुली दिस वीडियो with its categorization of the works of John Galsworthy helped you understand the list completely and the works completely, the kinds of novels he wrote, the novels he wrote, the plays he wrote, what are their subtitles and important and chronology of his works. We'll come back very soon taking yet another video primarily for TGT and PGT and UPGIC, UGC NET and other competitions where English is asked. So like this video, share it among your friends so that all the aspirants of upcoming examination of UP TGT and PGT are benefited to the fullest. Thanks for watching.